Welcome back to Earworm. This is episode number, Zach. Do you know what episode number this is?
Geez, probably 19, 18, 19,
20. It's episode 20.
20.
So my name is Tim Malone, and I'm one of the hosts of Earworm. I hope some people are checking in on us. And my friend here, young master Zachary, is my co-host. And we like to do a bunch of different topics. We like to talk about music on a regular basis. And recently, Zach went to a concert, and I went to a concert for the first time. We're trying to get together to do one maybe this winter because Zach has a weird schedule, and so do I. But on August 15th, I saw my favorite band of all time, Bad Religion, for probably I don't know, 15th time in my life in Atlantic City at Ocean Casino, Zach.
My
How about
favorite, baby. It's my favorite casino, favorite hotel. But you know what? I've stayed, not to get off topic real quick. But it's not off topic. So Ocean Casino, what a place. What a place. My favorite slot machines. Slot machines. We like the piggies. We like the piggies and the drum machines, hit well on those. But I've never been to a show at Ocean Casino. I
Yeah.
think I've been to one at the Golden Nugget, and it was
Wow.
well, it was No Doubt, but it was more of like a banquet hall, and they were just up on a stage. It was kind of weird. But what was the experience like at that Ocean Casino to see these guys?
So I'm a huge fan because there is some like I don't know how else to call it. There's like upper deck seating, like all in the back. So you come in, they check your ticket at the door. You come in and somebody's like, "All right, where are you seated?" And all of the floor is open, and so you can just enjoy the concert experience. I would rather be on the floor. I'd rather be down there like making my way to the front of the concert, at the stage.
Yeah,
But I
sure.
mean, sometimes, like Man Music Center doesn't really allow that. Like you can't really do that at like, Wells Fargo Center. I don't even know what it's called now. Most arenas, but the Ocean does it because I've seen three different concerts there. I saw Greta Van Fleet and Rival Sons, and it was amazing. And my daughters were like celebrating birthdays together, my daughter and I, and it was awesome. We just like kind of walked around, and it's very amicable. And then I saw Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was the same thing. The only weird thing about Red Hot Chili was they had like an orchestra pit right in front. But anyway,
That's where I'm confused. Like, is it an open room, or are there seats, and like is it like an orchestra, like theater type setup?
so at the Greta and Rival Sons concert, you could go all the way up to the stage. At the Bad Religion and Dropkick Murphy concert, you can go right up to the stage. But there is seating above it, like behind I guess you could call it the pit, but it wasn't really a pit. It's wide open there. It's great.
So
You
it's
could
wide open,
cruise.
but there's like another level
Yeah,
above where there's seats and stuff.
yeah, like you could bring your kids and be like, "Watch, honey, they're
Well,
gonna
that's
say
kind
the."
of cool.
Yeah, but down below, and it was very like I took my daughters to go see Greta, and I was there with my girlfriend, and she wasn't like she didn't even know who the heck we were watching, and we
Yeah.
just kind of cruised around. It wasn't like a mosh pit or anything like that, but it was really neat because the amount of times that I've seen Bad Religion, like I wanted to get as close as possible. This is my favorite band of all time. And I got a really cool story. I'm going to bring it out in the beginning right now. I saw them at a concert venue called Soma Live, and it was right at the base of Mission Hills and Banker Hill in San Diego. And they were the headliners, and I cruised in there and I sat like I was like the stage was like checking my pulse. I was so close to it. And I sat there and I sang along and blah, I did the whole weird early 20s thing, which was only like 10 years ago for you, for Zach. But anyway,
Yeah,
like
actually, yeah.
I know. And I sat there the entire time. I was like, and I'm sweating and I'm like going into it. And check this out. And you have to trust me. I'm not going to lie. The bassist like saw me as they were finishing up. They left and they came back for an encore. And I'm like, ah! And he came out like thanking everybody and had a red Solo cup, and he handed me the red Solo cup.
What was in there? What was he drinking?
It was probably Budweiser because it was beer,
Bud
and
Heavy?
it was probably Bud Heavy because that's a
Bud
big.
Heavy,
When
hell
I
yeah.
lived in San Diego, the locals drank Bud Heavy, and I was just like, "Brr," and I kept that cup when I lived out in San Diego, and I rode in it,
It,
and it was in like my TV stand. I'm like, don't touch that cup.
I'd laugh at it, but I would have been the same, man.
I
I would have been the
know.
same.
I'm thankful that you agree with me. I was like, "Ah!" Like I'm sitting there, I'm sweating my face off. I'm like 22 years old, maybe 23 years old, and I'm like, "Ah!" And he just comes over, like gives me a little head nod, and hands me the cup, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, because I was just freaking best ever." Because you're sitting up in the front, then you're getting your ass kicked, you know.
yeah.
So, um, one of my topics this week was, I love this band. I've had like, I mean, it was this band is old enough where I had the cassettes like in my car, like pop them in there, like, um, but I was like, I was sitting there with my girlfriend, and there was probably one third of the songs I didn't even recognize. Like they came out with these newer albums recently within the last like 10 to 15 years, and I was just like, I have no idea what this freaking song was. And I'm like, go ahead, I'm sorry, Zach.
No, I'm kind of shocked at so I'm not like, oh, this is your favorite band, like well, you don't know anything. But like that's funny that it's your favorite band. They kind of flew under the radar enough to was it under the radar or did they change so much that you just didn't?
Very comparable music. I mean, it's very melodic punk oriented. I don't know if that makes any sense to our listening audience, our five listeners. Um, we're increasing. We're getting up there. But you know, they're very good musicians, and Greg Graffin is a great singer in my opinion. He's like my favorite. But I had no idea there's like two to three other albums I never even heard of, and there was about maybe one third is too much. There was at least four or five songs I had never heard before, which is fine. I mean,
I looked up so at Ovation Hall it was an hour and 15 minutes set and they did 24 songs.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
I don't know. I guess if I went to I'm trying to not sound like I'm hating on you here, but if I went to a band that I knew and I really liked but was older, there'd probably be six or seven songs that I was like not super familiar with, I
So
guess.
you got to give me some leeway here in that I think their first album came out in 1982,
No,
dude.
that's what I'm trying to do. Like it's they're yeah,
I mean, it
not
was 40 years ago. And their most recent stuff, they've kind of fallen off the earth to a certain extent. But like, I mean, one song like Field of Mars is the one song that it stuck out in my mind that I hadn't heard before, but I kind of liked it, but I'd never heard it before. Like, but they played some biggies, and another topic that I'm gonna speak to now is how many concerts have you been to, Zach, with your like very I don't know, I wouldn't say favorite artist, but an artist that you adore, like you really like, and they don't play that song that is your go-to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean the most recent one was last year at Dave Matthews when it
yeah,
wasn't all the hits, you know.
yeah. We
But
talked about this in another episode.
yeah, it was that's the most recent one that I could think of. But I get what you're saying. It's like this is you want to hear that one song and you think it's going to be either early or late in the set or the encore, and it never comes out, and you're just like, oh, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, so I
I
think
actually I was looking through their set list, and if you go on to Apple, like their most popular ones, off the top of my head, I can't think of it, but I didn't see one of those on there, and I thought that was a little weird.
I mean, there was ones they played Supersonic, and I mean, other than like the mid '90s, which I think it came out after that, I've heard that at like every show I've ever seen them. Supersonic they played like every time, and then They played 21st Century Digital Boy. I don't know how to read, but I got a lot of toys. Like they
All
play that
right.
all the time. And then they did their encore, and I was really surprised that they wrapped up their show with American Jesus. We found an American Jesus. Jesus called you, you understand? We got to America. I mean, I like the song very much, but I shared a song with you, and I was really, really hoping. I've only seen them play it like once, and I've seen them like 15 times. But along the way, and that I saw them in at Camden, and they were one of the headliners for one of the original like Warp Tour shows. And
Mhm.
along the way is my favorite Bad Religion song, and it's my favorite punk rock song, and I freaking love it. Yeah. And it's just, and they didn't play it. And I'm like, damn it. But
That sucks.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to see this band, like, you're going to see Metallica, and they have to play, Make Us Fight on the Hills in the Earth, and they don't play, those type of songs. If you're going to go see Pink Floyd, they better play The Wall, you know?
You had your crush blue ball, you my guy.
But don't get me wrong. And one of the weird takeaways on my end was like, all right, I mean, I'm old, I'm 20 years older than you are. And then these guys, I was like, all right, you're a punk rock band, and you guys look like you could maybe use a handicap parking spot. Man, these guys look
No, really? Did they look
old.
bad?
Greg Graffin, man, I mean, he's definitely a grandfather. If he's not a grandfather for our listening audience, like, hit me up, man. Shoot me up, man. Because, man, that dude's looking old. Yeah.
I mean,
And
if you look at the Apple picture when you look them up, they don't look old. I mean, there's some gray in there, but the one guy looks pretty good. He's got some gray but
the bassist, yeah, the dude with the
I
long
get
hair. The guy,
no,
yeah, the
no,
bassist,
none of them have long hair anymore.
the,
Well, there you go. A lot of them are bald. Maybe that's sorry, Tom. Maybe that's it. Um, I don't know, but so they didn't look great.
See, it's crazy to me. I love this band so much. I know everything about them. There's a bunch of particularities I'm not going to get into because there's politics and sociology going on. But I was just so happy to find this concert, and I took my girlfriend to it, and she had no idea who they were, and she had a blast. And
That's awesome.
I mean, that's a big thing. Like you and I and your young lady friend went to a concert last year, and none of us, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, we might have known the songs, but we didn't know the artist, and none of us have ever seen them before, and we had a
Who's that?
blast.
Breland?
Yeah, Breland, and then
I gotta correct you. We saw him once before.
okay, regardless, but
But
I mean,
again, so he's I guess he's a an interesting one because he's done the what's it national anthem at the Eagles game.
yeah,
Like
you
he's
told me
blowing
that,
up a
yeah.
bit, but I get what you're saying. It's like I get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like my girlfriend is like, I'm like, oh yeah, Bad Religion, and she's regardless, she didn't like the name of the band and stuff like that, but she had a blast. These guys were great. Like they spoke to the audience and like, I mean, it's funny to me in the conceptualization of like the concert. It's almost an effect. Like you and I
What
went to go
them
see.
talking to the crowd and all that stuff?
Oh, I know. They're like getting
Yeah.
into it and like, wow, here's our next song. You're gonna love this type of thing. And I mean, some of their songs are really crazy, like Generators, a nutty song, and then the last one, like I said before, like Americans, we got an American Jesus living on the interstate, like and it's I want to conquer the world. I mean they played a lot of my favorite songs at there, and it was great, but it was. But I'm going back to what I said before. I'm like, let's just play along the way, and they didn't. It's kind of strange to me that I have that like takeaway from it. Like, come on, all you had to
No,
do
I
was,
get that. Like you had a great time, but your favorite song wasn't played. So there was a hole there.
yeah.
But so
Go
I
ahead.
hate to I hate to be the guy,
Oh, you are the
but
guy. You're always the
I'm
guy.
gonna be the guy.
Absolutely. I hope you are.
So I remember this band from playing, I think it was Tony Hawk Pro
Yeah.
Skater 2,
You said that to me like weeks
right?
ago. Yeah.
So I think they were in that. So this band to me is like it's skate punk. You know,
Okay. All right.
it's late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s like skate punk kind of
Absolutely.
thing, which I love. But it gets to a point where they all kind of sound the same.
Sound the same. I know. But
You
I
know,
mean,
but I appreciate, like, I understand why you love them. It's your favorite band. You have that tie to them. But that's what I picture them as. And when I looked into them, they're more of a they're big into politics,
oh yeah.
religion.
Yeah.
They're a, kind of a preacher band, for lack of a better word.
To a
I
certain
guess
extent.
not
Yeah.
not really preaching, but like they put all that like dicey stuff in there
Yeah.
and just kind of see where it goes. But that's my thought of them is like it's skit like it's playing a skateboarding video game and it's playing in the background. It's like, oh, this is cool. But they all kind of went together. So there's a couple of these songs that I may not have gotten. I'm
Right.
sorry.
No, no, there's no reason to apologize. But one of the major takeaways from this band, and there's a lot of bands like this in the late 70s, early 80s, through actually, I think, in my opinion, through the early 90s with like Rage Against the Machine and bands like that, where they were trying to put out like political messages and kind of like these. But in my opinion, this is just Tim Malone's opinion, is they were such good musicians. Greg Graffin was such a good lyricist. There's a lot of those songs where if you don't pay attention to what the heck he's saying, it's still melodic and it's still a really good song to listen to. Like, Recipe for Hate is one of their most popular songs, and that's what they kicked the show off with. And I love a recipe for hate. Like I love that song. I like the sound of the music. I told everybody this is my favorite band. Greg Graffin's my favorite singer, and it's one of the bands, The Descendants. Um, there's a bunch of punk bands that have these lead singers who have PhDs. Like no joke. Greg Graffin has a PhD in geology. Like what? From UCLA.
You
But
got a PhD in rocks, baby.
there you go. And Offspring. Offspring is the other guy. The Descendants, Offspring, and Bad Religion, and that's my time frame. Um,
Well,
but like
Offspring was inspired by these guys.
I
So
know
when I was looking into it, it was like Green Day, The Offspring, No Effects, Rancid. Look at those four names, and it's I see where the music was inspiring, but
it,
the sound is very, you gotta, I guess it's generational,
I guess so.
maybe.
Like
That's where the
that
the split is here.
that's a very good way to pick it up because if our listening audience and you and I talk about it, there are some very similarities about some of the bands and the songs that you have mentioned. And then like I try to go bigger with like the band and like Buddy Holly and stuff like that. But a lot of your songs are coming from like the mid 90s that you brought up. And there's some very similar melodic similarities to what these
Yeah,
bands are.
it's
And
and a lot of those bands were, sorry kids, fuck the system kind of bands,
oh yeah,
and it's like they got their name because they wanted to piss people off. They're
exactly.
not religious guys. Like they just wanted to piss people off.
Yeah, and
And that's
okay,
all those bands they inspired.
I,
It's
exactly. And there's some like weird things, and I know you and I have talked about this about our shows and stuff, about our recordings. One of the funniest things about Bad Religion, and I know this because I've met them, and I didn't even stick around for um who actually was headlining Dropkick Murphys. I've met them, Dropkick Murphys, and I've met Bad Religion and stuff. the funny thing about this, and it's kind of would take a step back and like a 30,000 view, that you want to like, let's make our listening audience like, oh yeah, we're against everything, bad religion. And the bassist is a Christian. Like, and he actually like told me that like when I met him, and I was like, okay, dude. Like,
That's
it's
funny.
oh, I know, but it's like I don't know, it's like a marketing advertising realm when he's like,
Yes,
we're gonna
it's
name.
they wanted to piss people off and stir it up and get their name out there, and what
I
better way to do it
want to
than just
conquer the
tag on the
world.
religion?
Yeah, I want to conquer. It's but like when I first saw them back in the 90s when I was stationed in California. I think I might have mentioned this a bunch of times for our listening audience. I lived out in California for like 7 years, and we used to go to Huntington Beach or and a bunch of different beaches up there in like northern LA County and southern San Diego County, Huntington Beach. And I used to go see them, and it felt like to me, I don't know if you've ever had the experience, but this band was always playing. Like it was kind of like when I was younger, Dead Milkmen seemed to be playing on South Street all the time, and then I would go up to Huntington and Bad Religion was like always there. And like, it was like all of these bands you see on a regular basis. And then all of a sudden they got popular throughout the country. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen them like 6 times. Like,
Yeah, what's the shit? What's the band they played down at Ocean Drive like all the time? Oh
Uh,
man.
oh, you're gonna crush me with this because now I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight if I
Oh,
can't remember it.
Secret Service?
Oh, Secret Service.
Secret Service.
Absolutely.
It's
They
one of
were
those type bands.
they played at the Princeton where I used to be a lifeguard in Avalon. They used to play there like once a month.
It's like coming up from Florida to the Jersey Shore every year and you see Secret Service and then they blow up one day. It's like that kind of thing. The Bad Religion was always playing out there.
Out at Huntington Beach. Like there was
Yeah.
these punk rock bands were always playing. Jawbreaker. I think I mentioned them in another episode
Yep.
previously. Jawbreaker's a huge band of mine. They were always there on Main Street in Huntington. And then if you take a look at like you mentioned a couple bands, Green Day and Rancid, that were sponsored by Bad Religion. They played like every weekend in like this district in San Francisco, and that's like where they blew up. I love that about some of these bands.
Yeah.
It's
Like
it,
the small market, not small market, but like small start, big career type of bands. Like
yeah,
yeah, like starting down, like I said, starting or like frequenting Sea Isle City, and then you just blow up and you go down everywhere else. You go to Florida, you go to Texas, you go to just blow up. You
yeah,
get a fan base. It's really cool to see how that happens.
in my experience, like I saw them probably close to 10 times, Bad Religion at Soma Live or in and around San Diego area. And there's a lot of and then Jawbreaker, I think the only times I've ever seen them was in Huntington Beach. That's the only times I've ever seen them. And then like there's bands that like moved away from where they grew up. Like Metallica like moved up into like Northern California to get like popular. It's, Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam moved from because what's his name? Eddie Vedder is from Southern California, and he moved
Yeah,
up with his band, and they got popular up in when Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and all those
yeah.
got popular up in the Seattle area.
Yep.
So it's just I was just
And that whole scene blew up, and that's kind of started up in the northwest, didn't it? Like
yeah.
that grungy type of
Yeah. Oh yeah, that whole
yeah.
that Alice in Chains,
Yes.
Soundgarden,
Yep.
Pearl Jam, and there's a bunch of other bands that are up there that were, semi-popular, but they weren't as big as the others. But I mean, I love that kind of stuff. Because we talked about some bands, I think previously, like Minneapolis, but like I think one of the songs we talked about was Replacements, and they're up in Minneapolis, and it was really strange because there's a bunch of popular bands that got like Husker Du, uh, the Replacements, and then all of a sudden Prince was right there too.
Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
How you doing?
I love that. And I don't know. Here's my question for you, YMZ, is that still going on? Is there bands in like Philly where you and I live near? Is there bands down in like the Carolinas and Florida and the Gulf Coast and Texas, because I could think of all those areas geographically that where a popular band came from. Is the same thing going on now, or is the internet
It's
just
so
kind of
different. It's
okay?
so different now. You nailed it. It's the internet. Like it
Yeah,
went from like you're talking about like not little bars, but like maybe bars, bands playing and then the word gets out and they grow and they just have a sound where people latch onto. Now I hope we're past the SoundCloud era, but
oh my God, yes,
SoundCloud was
yeah, yeah,
big there and then a lot of people got found
yeah.
on there. But it's very different now. Like you look on TikTok and you see somebody with a personality and a decent speaking voice, and they can just put some auto tune in there and just go up and Tate McRae. Look at her. Dude, stinks. All she does is get up there and dance and like auto tune. It's just she's a personality from TikTok now. I don't hate to throw it out there, hate to name drop, but it's a way to explain it. Sorry, but
Yeah,
that's what it is now. It's not. Yes, there's bands out there. I have a couple friends that are in bands grinding their ass off in Center City, Philadelphia, going
yeah.
to Delaware, going to Virginia, going down to Florida. But it's e- easier to go on the internet now. I don't know the way to say it. I guess that's the easier avenue is to sell out to TikTok and go that way. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I just, I'm an older guy, and I think like, some of the areas that I talked about had that sound orientation, like Jawbreaker, um, Bad Religion, those freaking bands down there, like they sounded similar, but kind of inspired themselves, and I was talking about like Minneapolis and Husker Du and Replacements, and there was a New England sound with like Dropkick Murphys, and I think the music industry. This is an opinion. I think the kind of music industry kind of like needs that because they're like inspiring each other. There was to a
Yeah, I
certain
mean,
degree.
there's still, well, I guess there's not really like East Coast, West Coast rap, or
Okay, I was going to
the
bring that up too.
you
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Is there a difference anymore? I feel like it's
Well,
just all one bubble for every genre now.
but there was. All right, right around when you were born in elementary school, there was definitely a deviation between East Coast and West Coast rap, and that,
100%. It's what
and
killed
then
Biggie.
And oh, I know. And then there was like, what is that? Even recently, wasn't it the mumble rap going on? Like,
Yeah, we
oh,
talked about that. I brought up the Eminem and
uh,
MGK beef a couple years ago
yeah,
that he was
and
calling out mumble rap, but that's not really like, the New York rap and the LA rap. There's none of that anymore.
but see, that's what I was bringing up. Like, there was an East Coast and a West Coast punk scene. There was a Northern California and Southern California punk scene. There was this whole scene going on in like the Upper Midwest. Like,
I
I
think
don't
we
know.
lost that. I think that's gone. I
Okay.
really think that's gone. Which actually, I didn't think about that up until now, but I think that's gone. It's kind of all like you're either sad punk music or heavy metal, or you're on Q102 playing whatever the hell they play, which is anything they want. None of that stuff makes sense to me, actually.
I'm
Some of the
gonna.
stuff they play on there doesn't, the it's so, I can't talk anymore. I
I'm
lost
sorry.
words.
I know. Because I think you're a little bit like infuriated with it, like I am to a certain extent, because do you follow Zach? I think I might have mentioned like one other time on the show, and I think when you and I were at Grams, do you subscribe or follow pitchfork.com?
I think you've mentioned it to me, but no.
And it's unbelievable to me. They do a really good job of like huge new band, and they're huge new bands have like a supreme following on the internet, and then all of a sudden, I'll bring up a band that was like comparable to a Jawbreaker and Bad Religion, Superchunk, which was they're from the Midwest and then moved to
That was my
California.
nickname in high school.
He is my he is my best friend ever right now. I am so thankful that he brought that up. But like they do a really good job of like following all these bands and stuff. But I loved the whole idea of like all of a sudden like Southern California rap is really popular, and then like all of a sudden like European like techno music was really popular, and all of a sudden like all these like super groups from Japan were coming to the United States. Like I loved the whole particularity of like I don't know what do you call it, like geography maybe, or just I just loved that, and it seems
Yeah,
to have gone away.
it has. It 100% has. It's all poppy shit now, dude. I hate this
Ah,
topic. So I love this topic, but I would go on for hours, and I don't know that we have enough time for me to go on to this.
but all
But
right,
I completely agree with you. There's no more like separation. Like, and I guess, you know what? I appreciate this band a little bit more because how hard that sound is.
ah,
It's now that you pointed out, it's a very geographical sound. It's yeah.
uh,
Southern California skate rock. Just
yes,
just I get it.
I
And it
wanna
makes so
conquer
much
the
sense.
world. Yeah, I
Yes,
it
and like I said, they picked their band name because they wanted to piss people off.
exactly, and it was
I very much appreciate that. I
yeah.
love pissing people off, but
You
I
piss me
get
off all
what
the
you're saying.
time.
Yeah,
You're a very good friend of mine. You piss me off all the time.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love
And it's just like it's funny that you brought up like the video games and like things like that. And I think about this now. I'm like, you go back over the last 20 years, a lot of these rhythms that they played, a lot of the songs that they played, they're all throughout like movies and music. They're probably killing it like on their freaking, the percentages and
Oh, the
stuff like that.
royalties are rocking.
Royalties are killing it. But it like I don't know. Like I'm trying to particularize like why. I think some of the reasons why I found them to be so awesome is like I love punk rock music. I love Sex Pistols. I love Rancid. I mean, you can name the band, and there's pretty much as, but they were more melodic. And then Lollapalooza became very popular, and the Warped Tour became very popular. And when I was like, in my late teens and early 20s, and these guys were there, and I just and maybe the reason that I love them so much is the bassist like actually gave me a solo cup of beer after a concert. I mean, that's a pretty
That's a really good tie to the
oh,
band.
but I mean, one of the major takeaways is I love Greg Graffin's voice, and I mean, I'm the I'm a weirdo, and Tim and Tom would probably agree with me.
Is
It's
that hot?
like yeah, exactly, atta babe. Um, it sounds like the way that I would sing. I don't know. I'm kind of like egotistically like compartmentalizing it, but like it's okay. I'm gonna apologize.
I'm so happy you brought that up. So this is why I'm so annoyed with these type of bands. And I'll rope Weezer into this.
Yes. Okay.
Weezer and
You hate
Bad
them.
Religion.
Everybody for the listening audience, Zach hates Weezer. But anyway, go ahead.
Down with Weezer. But I'll wrap Weezer into this. I feel like you can put anybody that has half a singing voice into these bands and they'll fit.
Yep.
That's the one thing that kills me about these bands. Like I appreciate Bad Religion. Now that we had this talk and we really thought it out, I appreciate them. Having said that, fuck Weezer. But you can put anybody. I could go into these bands and just bah, 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 bah. It'll
But,
sound the same. That's what pisses me off about these bands.
So it's funny that you said that. I'm sitting, a song came right to my mind. I want to conquer the world, give all the idiots a brand new. Dude, I just, you know what? I mean, we're gonna get to young Master Zachary's favorite band in the future. It's Greg Graffin and Bad Religion. I freaking love them. I saw them again, and it was so funny. There was like a half a dozen songs I had never heard before, and some of them were like, "All right, this is okay, but go on to like freaking Supersonic, please." I just, oh my God. I really really enjoyed it, and I told Zach before we started recording they were opening up for Dropkick Murphys. And I had actually met Dropkick Murphys, and I've seen them before a dozen times probably. And my girlfriend and I, and they opened up with one of their popular songs, and I was like, okay, time to go. And I had one of the last questions
Just
I
because it
have for
was
you.
late. Is that
It,
it? It was late.
so
You guys were done.
you're calling me old?
No,
Uh,
well,
but this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time I did that. I saw Volbeat open up for Ghost. And my ex-girlfriend and I loved Volbeat. And then Ghost came on. I was like, let's stick around and listen to the first song. And then we're like, okay, we gotta go. And this is maybe another topic for another time. I'm like, all right, I want to go see the opening band, and then the headliners come on. You're like, okay, it's time to go. This is
I've had a
weird.
couple where I should have done that. I was very disappointed that I stayed for the finishing act. I
Oh,
should
really?
have left, but I didn't.
I know. I mean, Poison doesn't even play anymore, Zach. Come on, buddy.
Yo, why are you shitting on Poison? No, I went to Wiz Khalifa and Logic, and Wiz Khalifa opened for Logic.
Oh,
Should have left after Wiz.
I would have done the same thing. I love Wiz and Logic. Like, come on,
I
man.
love, I thought I loved Logic.
Well, I
I
know, but
can't believe I just said
I,
that now.
I can't believe you and Kate stuck around for Taylor Swift that time. That's weird, man. Why did you stick around for
Yo,
her?
I did go to one of her shows way back in the day,
All right, you
2013,
you need to like cut that out of this episode because that's
2013.
weird. Because I don't
Yeah.
want to talk to you anymore.
No, I went to a Taylor Swift show. Suck
You're,
on that, ladies.
were you still in high school?
Yeah. Senior year of high school. Yeah.
Young YMZ, dude, you're the best.
Hey,
Um,
fun
is there
show.
is there anything you want to follow up with, or is there any other notes that you've taken to our listening audience? He takes some very copious notes about our topics, and I'm jealous because I don't. So
Well, no, I took a lot of notes on the band, but I think we hit quite a few. One last thing, we were both recently in the Denver airport
yes,
for two separate reasons.
yeah,
What do you think about that airport, Timmy?
it is amicable. It is easy compared to Newark, Philly, O'Hare, Ronald Reagan. It is nice. I liked it. I did. I've been there through there dozens of times.
It,
There is a
dude,
brewery
there's
in
a
there.
fucking subway system through the place.
Dude, have you been to Orlando Airport
It's bigger
lately?
than Manhattan.
It is easy like Sunday morning compared to Atlanta.
Okay, well, compared to Atlanta, yeah. All right, it's spaced out, but the okay. I guess I got the gates fucked up because I was in B69 and had to go to B69 had to go to C32.
Can you cut
Took
that
me
out?
like
Because
a half hour to get
I know
there,
because we
dude.
have some children watching this on a regular basis. B69 is not appropriate.
I hit the "this is not safe for kids" button on YouTube. No, but it took me like a half hour to get to the other side, and it wasn't busy. So, have you ever been there when it's busy?
I've been there a couple times, like on a
Not a nightmare.
Sunday late afternoon. It's probably the worst in Denver, but there's so I mean it's so much better than like an Atlanta or a Reagan or a Newark or like it's dude, Denver's fine, man. Come on,
Okay.
grow up,
All right.
grow up.
So we're set hut. Set hut. We're gonna do airport reviews here.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to get into. You
And
know, off the music into the airports.
yeah, if anybody, our listeners or viewers, can give us a theme song for airports, we would appreciate that. Bring it to the table. Let us know. Thank you so much.
It's getting weird here. Getting real weird after episode 20.
Um, well, Zach, I thank you for another great one. I just want to wrap things up, and I loved the show, even though like about five of the songs I didn't even recognize, but it was freaking great. And it's just so funny to me that these guys are like 10 years older than me, and they're still kicking it. So,
I love
Zach,
it. It's so
yeah,
cool that you got to go see a band from like, not that way back then, but like that you've loved for so long and they're still doing it and you can go see them in that environment. It's really cool. I'm happy you did that, man.
yeah,
But
I'm
also,
gonna,
good job catching up. I think you're, what are we, 3-1 on shows attended?
yeah, about that, I think, yeah,
Okay. We'll put a
I
little
think,
counter up here. 3 to
yeah.
1, Zach to Tim.
All right,
Seven.
Zach, thank you, my friend.
Hey, see you, everybody.